Good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here with you today to talk about something that affects every one of us, something we sometimes take for granted until we realize how important it is to our overall happiness and well-being. I want to talk today about finding that delicate, precious balance between work and life and why it's crucial that we strive for it every day. This isn't just about the hours we spend at work versus the hours we spend outside of it. It's about creating a lifestyle that allows us to thrive in all aspects of our lives, career, relationships, health, and our personal passions. In today's world, the pressure to succeed is higher than ever. We live in a society that glorifies being busy, constantly doing, constantly achieving. But often that constant hustle can start to chip away at our well-being. We spend so much time focused on the next goal, the next promotion, or the next project that we can forget to ask ourselves why we're working so hard in the first place. Work is essential, but it is meant to be a part of our life, not our entire life. It's easy to understand why work can sometimes take over our lives. We want to succeed. We want to provide for our families, and we want to fulfill our ambitions. Work is a big part of how we see ourselves, and it's where we feel a sense of purpose. But when work becomes the only priority, we can lose sight of the things that bring us joy and fulfillment outside the office. That can lead to burnout, stress, and an overwhelming feeling of being out of control. One of the first things we have to realize when we talk about work-life balance is that balance doesn't mean an even split. It's not about spending exactly 8 hours working and exactly 8 hours or relaxing. True balance is about finding the rhythm that works for you. It's about knowing when to give a little more to work and when to pull back to spend time with family, to take care of yourself, or to simply rest. Balance starts with awareness. It starts with being honest with ourselves about how we're feeling. Are we stressed? Are we tired all the time? Do we feel like we're missing out on important moments? Sometimes we're so caught up in the daily grind that we don't even realize we're out of balance. We're running on autopilot, not questioning why we feel drained or anxious. But when we take a moment to reflect, we can start to see where our energy is going and where we might need to make some changes. The next step is to set boundaries. Now, I know that's easier said than done, especially in a world where technology keeps us constantly connected to our work. Our phones, emails, and messaging apps make it so easy to bring work home with us, even if it's just for a quick check-in that turns into an hour-long task. But setting boundaries is one of the most powerful things we can do to protect our personal time. It's okay to say, I'm not available right now. It's okay to turn off notifications. When we establish clear boundaries, we allow ourselves to recharge, to be fully present in our personal lives, and to bring our best selves back to work when the time comes. Let's talk about self-care. I know the term self-care has become a bit of a buzzword, but it's absolutely essential for maintaining a healthy balance. Self-care isn't just about treating yourself to a nice meal or a day off, though those are certainly wonderful things to do. It's about consistently taking care of our physical, mental, and emotional health. It's making sure we get enough sleep, that we eat nutritious food, and that we move our bodies. It's also about nurturing our minds, whether that's through hobbies, meditation, reading, or simply taking a few moments to breathe deeply and clear our heads. When we take care of ourselves, we're not just giving ourselves a break, we're building resilience. We're making it possible for us to handle the pressures of work without getting overwhelmed. Another critical component of work-life balance is prioritization. We can't do everything, and we certainly can't do everything well if we're stretched too thin. So we have to learn to prioritize what truly matters to us. Sometimes that might mean making tough choices about where we spend our time. It might mean saying no to certain opportunities or delegating tasks that we've been holding on to. But when we focus on what's most important, we give ourselves the freedom to enjoy our lives without feeling like we're constantly playing catch up. I want to encourage everyone to seek meaning in your work. Often the reason we feel out of balance is because we're not fully engaged in what we're doing. We're working hard, but it feels like we're on a treadmill just going through the motions. But when we find meaning in our work, when we know that what we're doing has purpose, it can transform our experience. Work doesn't feel like a burden when we feel connected to it, when we know that it's contributing to something larger than ourselves. So find ways to connect with the purpose behind your job. Remember why you started. Remind yourself of the value you bring and let that inspire you. A job with meaning doesn't drain you, it energizes you. Let's also remember the importance of nurturing our relationships. Our connections with family, friends, and loved ones are what give our lives richness and color. They remind us that there is more to life than our daily routines and that we are part of something greater. We need to make time for the people who matter to us, to show up for them and to allow them to show up for us. We need to have those moments where we can let our guard down, where we can laugh, and where we can share in each other's joys and struggles. When we invest in our relationships, we're building a support system that helps us face life's challenges with courage and optimism. Remember that work-life balance is not a destination, it's a journey. It's something we have to work at every day. There will be times when work demands a lot from us and we have to lean into it. There will be times when life outside of work needs our full attention. That's okay. The key is to be flexible, to adjust as needed, and to trust that even when things feel off balance, we can find our way back. Balance is not about perfection, it's about making choices that align with our values and that support our well-being. As we navigate this journey, let's be kind to ourselves. Let's recognize that we're all doing our best, and let's celebrate the small victories along the way. When we set boundaries, prioritize our well-being, and nurture our relationships, we're not just achieving balance, we're creating a life that is rich, fulfilling, and sustainable. In the end, work-life balance is not just about reducing stress or avoiding burnout. It's about living a life we can be proud of, one that brings us happiness, peace, and a sense of accomplishment. It's about being present in our lives, not just going through the motions. So let's make that commitment to ourselves. Let's choose balance, let's choose joy, and let's choose a life that reflects our deepest values and aspirations. Work-life balance is essential because it directly impacts our overall well-being, happiness, and sense of fulfillment. In today's fast-paced world, there's a significant pressure to succeed, which often pushes us to focus intensely on our careers, sometimes at the expense of other aspects of life. Many of us feel that we need to keep up with expectations, achieve more, and constantly push our limits. This ambition can be positive, it fuels our growth, helps us reach our goals, and provides a sense of purpose. However, it can also become overwhelming and can lead to a life that is overly focused on work. The challenge arises when work consumes so much time and energy that we overlook or even neglect the other parts of our lives that bring us happiness and satisfaction. This includes spending quality time with family and friends, pursuing hobbies and personal interests, and maintaining our physical and mental health. When we're so focused on work that these things fall by the wayside, it can create an imbalance that leaves us feeling drained, unhappy, and ultimately unfulfilled. The importance of work-life balance, then, is in creating a lifestyle that allows us to pursue our career goals while also nurturing the things that make life meaningful and enjoyable. It's about working to achieve success, but not at the cost of our relationships, our health, or our happiness. A balanced life allows us to approach work with more energy, enthusiasm, and creativity because we feel fulfilled and supported in other areas of our lives. In this way, work-life balance not only enhances our personal well-being, but also positively impacts our productivity and success in our careers. When we think of balance, it's easy to imagine an equal division of time and energy between work and personal life. But in reality, true balance is not about spending the exact same number of hours on work and personal activities. Instead, it's about finding a rhythm that aligns with our personal needs, values, and circumstances. Balance is more about quality than quantity, and it looks different for everyone. In practical terms, this means that there will be times when work requires more of our focus and effort, and that's okay. For example, during busy project deadlines or times of high responsibility, work may take up a larger portion of our day. Similarly, there will be other times when personal life, such as family commitments, health needs, or personal interests, will need more of our attention. True balance allows us to flow with these natural shifts, understanding that balance doesn't mean a fixed formula, but rather a flexible approach. Finding this personalized balance requires self-awareness and prioritization. Some people may find that working intensely during the week and reserving weekends for personal time works best for them, while others may need to find daily pockets of time to recharge and connect with loved ones. The key is to identify what feels fulfilling and manageable for each of us individually. Achieving work-life balance starts with self-awareness and honest reflection. Often, we get so caught up in our daily routines, responsibilities, and expectations that we operate on autopilot, moving from task to task without truly considering how we feel or why we're doing what we're doing. Self-reflection encourages us to pause, step back, and check in with ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. Awareness means being in touch with our current state. Are we constantly stressed, fatigued, or feeling anxious? Are we missing out on important life events, or do we feel disconnected from our personal lives? Taking a moment to reflect on these feelings allows us to recognize when our lives may be tipping out of balance. For example, if we're always working late or constantly checking emails during family time, it may signal that work is taking up too much space in our lives. Noticing these signs is the first step to making changes that can bring us back into balance. Self-reflection also involves evaluating what truly matters to us. Each of us has unique values and priorities, and knowing what these are helps us understand where we want to focus our time and energy. When we lose sight of what's important, it's easy to get swept away by external pressures, whether they come from work demands, societal expectations, or the desire to keep up with others. But when we're clear about our own values and priorities, we're better able to make choices that serve us well, both professionally and personally. Self-awareness also helps us identify what drains us versus what recharges us. For instance, some people feel energized by social interactions while others recharge by spending time alone. Understanding these personal preferences allows us to build a balanced lifestyle that genuinely supports our well-being. In summary, awareness and self-reflection are essential for identifying when we're out of balance and for understanding the adjustments we need to make. By staying in tune with our needs and values, we can make intentional choices that help us live a life that's balanced, fulfilling, and aligned with our true selves. A balanced approach also means accepting that life has seasons and cycles. There may be seasons in life when work is more intense or when personal commitments demand more attention. Instead of feeling guilty about these shifts, embracing a flexible definition of balance can help us stay engaged, satisfied, and at ease with the way we allocate our time and energy. True balance, therefore, is about creating harmony in the different areas of our lives so that we feel a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment rather than stress and depletion. Setting boundaries is crucial for maintaining work-life balance. In today's connected world, work often spills into our personal time due to the ease of staying connected through technology. We might start with a quick email check that turns into answering a dozen messages or a short work call that takes up an entire evening. Without clear boundaries, the line between work and personal life blurs, leaving us feeling constantly on and unable to fully recharge. Boundaries are a way to protect our time, energy, and mental well-being. They help us designate certain times or spaces as exclusively for work or conversely for personal life. For example, a boundary could be leaving work at a specific time each day, or setting a rule to avoid checking work emails after hours. Another could be designating certain activities like family dinners or weekend mornings as work-free times. These boundaries allow us to be present in both our professional and personal lives without one constantly interfering with the other. Setting boundaries isn't always easy, especially if we're concerned about meeting work expectations or if we're in a high-demand role. But establishing boundaries doesn't mean neglecting our responsibilities. It simply means creating a structure that lets us manage those responsibilities sustainably. Communicating our boundaries clearly to colleagues, supervisors, or clients can also help them understand our availability and respect our personal time. Moreover, boundaries enable us to recharge, making us more productive and focused when we do return to work. They prevent burnout, reduce stress, and allow us to engage meaningfully in our personal lives, which ultimately contributes to a healthier, more satisfying work-life balance. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It's about recognizing our limits and honoring our need for rest, relationships, and activities outside of work. By defining and protecting our boundaries, we create space to live a well-rounded life where we can be fully present in both our work and personal pursuits. In conclusion, work-life balance isn't just a lofty goal. It's a daily commitment to our well-being, happiness, and fulfillment. True balance doesn't mean splitting our time evenly between work and life. Rather, it's about creating a flow that aligns with our values, needs, and personal goals. When we practice awareness, set boundaries, prioritize self-care, and find meaning in our work, we build a lifestyle that empowers us to thrive, both professionally and personally. By embracing flexibility, nurturing our relationships, and celebrating small wins along the way, we create a balanced, resilient life that can weather the demands of work without losing touch with what truly matters. Ultimately, achieving work-life balance allows us to live with purpose, joy, and a sense of wholeness, where we're not just surviving each day, but truly living and growing. So let's choose to invest in balance, to honor both our careers and our personal lives, and to build a life that reflects the best version of ourselves. Thank you. Thank you all for being here and for your openness to this important conversation about work-life balance. It's inspiring to see such commitment to not only personal growth, but also to creating a healthier, more fulfilling approach to work and life. Remember, each small step toward balance is a powerful investment in your well-being, and in the long run, it benefits everyone around you. Let's keep supporting each other on this journey, and may we all find the joy and fulfillment we deserve. As we wrap up, I want to thank each of you once again for your time, attention, and dedication to finding a healthier balance in life. Remember that balance is a journey, not a destination, and each day offers a new chance to align your work and personal lives in ways that bring joy, meaning, and fulfillment. I hope you leave today feeling inspired and equipped to make choices that honor both your ambitions and your well-being. Take care, stay balanced, and goodbye for now.